Our organization offers the quick in, quick out workforce training, non-credit, whereas main campus does the credit classes for a little bit longer period of time. It's our purpose to determine what your needs are, get you in here, and then get you out as quickly as possible.
From my viewpoint, the benefit of working with the G.R.E.A.T program and external services is to help citizens who would have no other means of paying for their training courses. They're given that opportunity to be here and get the skills training that they need. If they're unemployed, they don't have extra money to pay for classes, so these programs have been able to offer a way to get a skill and then become employed.
Typically, most women enrolled in our healthcare related trainings here at the CAP Center, for instance, pharmacy tech, medical office assistant, and in the occasions where we have enough interest, the medical billing and coding programs. I would also say that somewhat as a surprise to us, we've had quite a few ladies involved in our carpentry program, so that'd probably be the biggest ones. Typically, non-traditional careers for women would be a career where 25% or less of that industry is made up of women. For instance, I don't get a lot of women in the welding program, although we have had a few. Truck driving would be another one. We've had about half a dozen women come through truck driving, but majority of it have been males. So I think manufacturing is changing to where you have just about as many women as you do men in that program, or in that industry. But for the most part, I would say your industries in construction probably would be less apt to find quite as many women in it.
In my opinion, all of the classes that we have here at the CAP Center are available for women. We normally see women pick more indoor related occupations, but I've found in my career, even in being in industry, that women are very capable of handling welding occupations. I haven't been around construction, but I do know that some of the best welders that I've met have been women. They pay attention to details. They take pride in their work and making sure that they get the quality that they need the first time. So I believe a woman could excel in any of our occupations that we provide skills for here.
And I would add to that as well. Obviously, there are physical capabilities that differ between men and women, but there's also those differences between men and women and women. And I think in this day and age that if a female individual wants to get into a particular industry, that there's always a way to make some accommodations for that.
Our manufacturing skills basic class has more women in it traditionally than we see men. The starting ranges and salary have been anywhere from $10 an hour up to $15 an hour, depending on the industry that they apply for work.
The construction-related trades, I would say, I can think of a company right off the top of my head, regardless of gender, you're going to start out at $16 an hour if you pass their welding test. There are pipe fitters and carpentry. There are positions out there that they're paying upwards of $25 and $30 an hour. Most of that, you'd have to travel to those job sites. And then I would say in the logistics, where you're dealing with CDL driving, there's companies out there that are paying upwards of $60,000, $65,000, and they don't care what gender you are.
I think that the biggest difference between the traditional occupation for women and the non-traditional might be the amount of physical activity or physical work that they're doing in those occupations. And I think women tend to shy away from those types of jobs. They don't really trust that they can physically handle it. And the opposite can be true. Manufacturing has changed so much these days that there's ways that you can get lift assist. You're not having to pick up and work in dirty, grimy environments. And women will just have to realize that it's not the same old manufacturing background. Things have changed drastically to make work more efficient and easy to do.
And I think to add to that, like she said, in manufacturing, there's been a lot of automation added. Same thing is happening in other fields. And so, I think women typically in the past shied away from mechanical type jobs because they just didn't have that in their background, whereas now that's not necessarily a necessity on some of these jobs, even in the construction field. We have partnerships with employers in this area in a variety of fields. In particular, welding, Quality Steel is one of our top employers of welders. In the manufacturing realm, we have the new company in Greenville, New Farm. We have USG, Milwaukee Tool. We do a lot of training for them currently. Viking over in Greenwood. So there's multiple partnerships, and this is available to any of the trainees that come through our programs is some employment assistance. Now we can't guarantee a job, but we can sure help you try to get one.
To apply for any of our workforce training programs, we begin with a prerequisite of the National Career Readiness Certificate. The CRC is used by most of our companies in the area, so we would like for our participants to have that score prior to enrolling in any of our classes. The CRC is offered at the WinJob Centers in Greenville, Greenwood, Cleveland, and also here at the CAP Center by appointment only. All of our training classes have a deadline. The deadline for our classes are listed on our CAP Center website, or you can freely come by here at the CAP Center and visit any of the coordinators to get more information about the classes. Most of our classes end anywhere from 10 weeks to 15 weeks. So it's really short-term classes that are offered typically within the semester, and we start over again in the next semester.